the start of the end. Here comes your white knight. Got a foot on the edge, looking over the ledge, and everything will be just fine, turning inside out, falling out of time. If it's the final story, it's death and glory, and tomorrow the sun will rise.
Welcome to episode 20 of Pineapples and Thorns. Peter's with me tonight for this very special live show. Hi, Peter.
Hello, Kat. How are you tonight? Happy 20th
Doing-
anniversary.
Episode 20.
Show-anniversary. Well, something like
It's
that.
amazing, isn't it?
It is.
Just some housekeeping notes to our live audience. We're going to take a few questions for our guests. Hopefully we'll have time at the end. You can just type it in the stage chat channel and we'll try to get to them at the end of the show. And we're extremely excited to have with us two of the most amazing people in the CFF, nay, in Clash itself, I might say. The one and only Fox, who's leader of the Clash Files family. She's a Discord guru and technical wizard, and she keeps the ship afloat. And also Lady Jennifer, aka Miss P, aka Miss OP of House Pseudo, first and 2.0 of her name, the sunburnt Lady of Glencoe, Queen of the Gifts, Khaleesi of the Shed in TJ's Garden, Mother of Hogs, Breaker of Bases, Caster of Pods, Wannabe Canadian, and FC Gangsta. And well, folks, now we're out of time after all that. So, welcome, lady.
Thanks for tuning in.
That's an amazing title set
You're
there.
good.
But welcome. Glad you guys could join us tonight. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about your Clash history? What town hall levels you play? What clans you're actively playing in now? How did you get to the CFF? All that good stuff. Fox, did you want to go first?
Sure. Well, so my history, I go back pretty far. I'm actually one of the first CFFers that there was. I met the original Clash Files podcasters back in, I want to say 2013, I believe it was. Yeah, when I listened to they were on a podcast back then, it was literally called the Clash of Clans podcast with Scotty and Boneyard. And I heard their podcast, and then I actually had a friend who was also an avid listener, and they're like, listen to more of the podcast. And I'd only listened to the one episode, so I got through some more, and they were adding a new clan called Kent Farmhouse that was going to be led by Natalia, and we were all at a pig roast late one night. And, we were all actually had our phones out and we were playing the game. They're like, you should request to join the new clan. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Like I've I've only just far enough to just finally be allowed to request to join a clan at that point, I was like, so, that was my start of meeting everyone. And then eventually, as they all started to make their own podcast after guesting on Scotty and Boneyards, and the rest is history.
Amazing.
Became the CFF.
Jen, what about you?
Well, I started playing in 2016 because my son and Mike played the game. So I came to the CFF because Mike was in the CFF, and I remember I actually had to send an email to Ran, and I was super nervous to hear back from him. I was kind of like, oh no, I'm not going to get in. I'm not going to be able to play with you guys. This is not going to happen. He's going to reject me. I'm not even big. I'm not high enough town hall. I'm not, I didn't know what I was doing. I had really no idea what I was doing. And that's when I joined K2. And then a few months later, I ended up going to KGH because I really felt like I needed to just learn some of the base skills that were happening.
And where are you playing now?
Right now, I'm not actively playing, but I do have my Town Hall 10 in KGH for Town Hall 10 and Lower Wars on Mondays. So I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Okay, so that kind of leads into my next question. What's your favorite Town Hall level?
Town Hall 9 FC, please.
Yeah. Rider.
Yep. even though that is probably that's just got a special place in my heart. Right now, I really like Town Hall 10. I think that I can do the old school shattered, stoned golems into hogs, or just queen walk into hogs, and it just feels like the kind of like the good old days.
Yeah, 'cause, you really can't do those up at the. Well, I guess you can, but not very
Yeah, it's
successfully.
just it's really
Yeah.
difficult. Yeah, it's difficult.
How about you, Fox?
I have so many town halls that I play right now. I've definitely found, I think Town Hall 9 is actually a lot of fun, I've found too, because a lot of my accounts come out to play during CWL week when I bring them all out and like, oh, get some more attacks in, fill up the roster because, but hogs are definitely fun. I'm a ground girl, so the lower levels, so I can do hogs. Everyone hates witches, but I like witches.
They
I
work.
love witches.
Come along, my little friends, help me attack.
So that kind of, I mean, both of you have been playing for a very long time. So that kind of leads to my next question, which is what keeps you playing the game? A lot of people have so-called retired from the game, but there's a lot of us lifers, it seems, that just can't quite put the game down, even if we take short breaks from it. You first?
Oh yeah, I was going to say for me, it's absolutely our community. All the wild and crazy ways that we continue to play this game and make the most out of it, no matter even with all the changes in it. We're like, well, let's run with that and make an event out of it, and then bring everyone together and yeah.
That is so
Fine, you're
true.
gonna do that. Let's do it. Take it full on.
And how about you, Jen?
Yeah.
I have to completely agree with her. It's the community. I have gotten so many friends from this game that our friendships are outside of the game that will continue even without this game. But it is definitely the people that keep me coming back for more.
Yeah, for sure. Fox, you're considered a Discord genius by everyone who knows you. You've built an amazing family server, and somehow you keep things functioning really flawlessly. Personally, I don't know how you do it. But how do you keep from going insane with all the demands on your time from everybody in the CFF?
Fortunately, well, for me, I love it. I love community building is something I've been passionate about for a very long time. Like back when, when I first had my kids, I was on like the mommy boards, so I kind of grew from there, but I'm also like an avid, I'm a geek unabashedly. So I love tinkering and I'm like, oh, there's this new feature. Let's try this out. Or, there's a new bot. Let's try this new bot. So everything that, doing all of that it's fun for me, but also, we have such a great support system from, our clan, from all the way from clan leadership to, co-leaders to elders to, clan members, server members who step up and, help out and, kind of keep things running and fun and coming up with new ideas of things to do. So
yeah, it really is like an amazing community here in the CFF. And looking at it, I wonder, to what do you attribute the success of the CFF? A lot of clans and families have fallen into various pitfalls of expansionism and led to them breaking up. How has the CFF avoided that?
Well, I feel like because we've always been very community driven, just first, that was almost naturally at first, and now it's kind of it's just who we are. We love doing events. We love, playing together and doing things together. And I think because we're always so focused on ensuring that we have a quality community, we're not worried about the quantity of people and the number of, clans and or accounts that are in the CFF. We care more about what we have to offer the people who are here, and we want to really focus on, connecting with and building relationships with everyone that we have here, like be it in a clan or even just our friends who are in the server. That's why we do everything. We try to, stay connected and have fun. And
yeah, I mean, I know we've recently added a couple of new clans groups to the family, and it just seems to be going stronger than ever.
Yeah, they're a perfect example of, building friendships and making friends, and then saying, hey, you know what, you're a great fit. Let's make this more official. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah.
Fox, do you know how many people are in the server right now? Do you know how many members we have? Ballpark?
Oh.
I want to say 1,500 at least. Yeah.
Wow.
Goodness. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that really is.
So, Fox, what's one of the toughest things that you've had to do to deal with regards to the CFF? Like, could be like an issue family wise or just with the server.
Oh, tough things. Let's see. I think really trying to make sure like everyone's feeling comfortable and happy and having a good time. You never want anyone to feel like it's not working out for them, or we've been pretty fortunate. We haven't had too many big things to worry about. Server wise, we've been very lucky. Also, I know the Nitro scams that have been going around. We've been very fortunate that we haven't gotten hit by that. Yeah. Good call. now I've done it. Yeah.
Yeah. So why don't you each tell us a fun fact about yourself that maybe our listeners would enjoy hearing. Jen, do you want to go first?
Okay. This was actually kind of hard for me because I'm kind of an open book here at the CFF. People know a lot, I kind of would like to share a lot. I mean, I'm a Bills fan. I don't like the cold. I'm a coffee lover. I work out. I have a healer tattoo. I taught my dog to sing. I love poetry.
You like
else?
gifts.
I do like gifts.
That's a
I
vicious
do like
rumor.
talking in gifts. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And dad jokes. Don't
Yeah.
tell me a dad joke, please.
How about you, Fox?
I know this was hard for me too. I'm like, oh, what could be like a fun fact? So I love to read. I stay up way too late reading. I've been known to stay up through the night if I get sucked into a good book. I play a lot of games other than just Clash. I'm a big Xbox gamer. We have a gamer group that I play with. My husband and two friends that that's how we stay connected because, COVID, they're not mobile gamers, but they're Xbox gamers, which is like, that's great because we can just hang out every night and, chat online and play games. We just played Back for Blood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was a difficult game. It was fun though. I played a different mode. Like I was the tank, the melee tank. So that was fun for me. Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I think that's two things there. So
that's awesome. I never, everyone who plays mobile game. I don't want to say everyone, but I always think if you're playing mobile, you're not really playing console. Like I might look at my kids, right, and they play PlayStation and Xbox or on the computer, and then they just shake their head at me on my phone playing a game. Why would you play on that little screen when you can play on this big screen? But anyway.
If only we could.
Yes, exactly. So, 20th anniversary, but also this episode is the kind of the year in review for the CFF and all the events we've done and all the things that kind of have happened in the CFF. I started making a list. I just went through the chat, the announcements, sign up for this war, sign up for that war. And I think I came up with 13 or 14 things that happened. So I wonder, event happening all the time, right? There's always one in the planning and there's always one kind of happening. Plus CWL in how many clans are there now? 12 of us? Maybe 11. I'm not 100% sure.
I've lost count.
Yeah, add on event clans. We go up to like over 15 when you add our event clans in there. So that way we let everybody play, It's like, here, you go there, you go there.
So I made that list and we put it in the agenda. I don't think I really want to read it off, but do you have a favorite event? I mean, we have the 69 war every year and the draft war happens. Do you have a favorite event, SP?
I do. I actually would say it was the podcast Recreation War. And just because the magnitude and what actually went into planning that and how it brought kind of all of these little communities that were kind of on their own little islands, all of us came together and helped support this game that we play and just all became friends. It was just such an amazing process.
And it really was. I listened to that draft live. I think I was working on my cold cellar at the time, so I couldn't really be involved, but I was listening and I was like, oh, I haven't heard of that podcast. Oh, I remember that guy.
Yeah.
And that was a great event. Super, really great event. And Carl was such a good sport for jumping in and drafting a team against you, even though he didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
That was great. Yeah.
Hmm.
How about you, Fox?
Yeah, that one definitely ranked up there for me as one of the best of the year, just because it did bring so many different people together. And that's the other reason the other war that I really enjoy is the draft war that we do every year, because everybody from, from friends to clan members, all the different clans that we, know and are friends with, or just are part of the CFF, everybody signs up and everyone gets drafted to different teams. Then it gets people, mingling and playing together that they may not have played together with before, or haven't played, the game with in a long time.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. So I really enjoy that too.
Yeah, I think that one really had a fantastic turnout, and people were disappointed. I had a few people message and say, how do I get in on the draft tour? But everybody had been drafted already, so there was no room for
Right.
subs. Everybody showed up. It was really fantastic.
Yeah.
You laugh, Jen, but that's a factor, isn't it? It really is.
She's like, people showed up, huh? Yeah. Well, how many times has it happened? And it's like, oh no, I got spun.
exactly.
Okay.
Like, oh,
Not
well.
this time. I think nobody got
Yeah.
caught in a spin. Everybody made sure they were in the right place at the right time. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it happening around the same time every year, people I think kind of have it both in the back of their mind and on their calendar, because it is that fun. Ink does an amazing
it
job
really
putting
did.
that together.
How about you, Kat? Do you have one of the events is your favorite?
Well, definitely, I think the draft war. It's just a lot of fun making up the goofy team names, and making little icons for everybody. I really enjoy doing that. So that's probably my favorite, the draft war.
And I think my favorite this year was the All Town Hall 14 more.
Yes.
The 50v50. That was a heck of a
That
lot of fun.
was.
It was kind of like a giant CWL. So yeah, that was fun for us. Oh, and a bunch of people would change the location of the clan just so we could be number one in, I forget, the Christmas Islands or some places like that. Yeah, that was good. It was good.
Yeah.
Is there an event that we haven't done that you'd like to see happen? I'm going to start. I was talking to Jen about this one. We are up to 14 super troops. I think when we get to 15, we break up into teams of 15, and we all have to use separately each one of the super troops.
That's interesting.
And then that way we get to showcase each
Ooh.
one as they happen.
So
And then it'll be groups of 15, and we can do maybe a little round robin of teams just for something fun.
So each team would choose one super troop or draw one super troop, and they'd have to build their army around that.
Each member of the team would have to pick a different one. So the whole team would have to use all 15 in the war.
Oh, yeah, that would be really cool.
And we'd have to come up with some kind of conditions.
That would be.
Maybe half the army weight is that.
Yeah.
Which would be hard for the guy using super barbarians, but maybe not so hard for the guy using super dragons. Yeah.
All super wall breaker.
All
army.
super wall breaker army. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Something like that. Anybody else had an idea?
Oh, it's kind of hard to top that one.
I know, right?
Right.
I do want to, kind of talk about, since we're kind of doing the war with the CFF versus C2J, I would kind of like to issue a challenge to some other people of the Clash Files or the Clash community here, Clash Tips of the EYG family, and to Catfish and the Klaus Gaming family to come battle the CFF. Maybe one in January, the other one in February after the CWL, whichever suits us. But I think it would be kind of fun that we're going to crush C2J, and then we're going to roll over the other two guys. And
Yes. Yes.
I know I've seen people already calling targets.
Oh my gosh.
On the C2J side and on the CFF side.
Well, I don't understand
So
why
people-
the CFFers are over there signing up on their side. What are they doing?
Oh, I think it was like some trickery involved.
Was that Ink doing that?
No.
No. I think I saw Forco.
And Jess. Yep. We're just gonna
Forco,
call
I'm coming
you out
for you,
right
Forco.
here.
Oh.
Yep.
I've already called
Traitors.
Forco. That's it.
They probably just started their
Keep
sign
going
up sooner
down.
than we did.
No good. Note to self.
So that is actually going to be
Everybody's
streamed
gonna-
by Mordors that night, that war.
Yeah.
So that's a
Yep.
big shout out to Mordors. That'll be fun.
Yes, can't wait for
And
that.
Yeah.
That's always
it's
a
going to be no
blast.
dip. Are there any other rules?
Nope, just no dip. Mord's actually signed up for the war as well, so he'll be streaming and playing.
Nice.
Excellent. And I think we're closing in
Awesome.
on 50 signups, aren't we?
Yeah.
We are.
Yeah, so that'll be great.
Yeah, it's going to be a fantastic event. So yeah, I definitely think that, if there's other clan families out there that are interested, like Klaus and EYG, definitely get in touch with Jen and
Come at
we'll
us.
set something
Let's
up for sure.
go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And then maybe if we're still friends after all of it, we should maybe try to do another
Yes.
Pods and Rec
Mm-hmm.
V2.
And actually,
Nice big
a bit of
mixer.
a public service announcement.
Mhm.
Some of the guys have been talking. Through COVID, we've all been kind of holding our breath to make sure that things were going to happen. And now that things are opening up somewhat, some of the folks are going to try and get together on American Memorial Day weekend. So that's May 28th to 30th in Buffalo.
Wait, I live in
Hometown of-
Buffalo.
Yeah, I think we're
Oh,
going to crash your
I'm gonna
we're going to
go.
crash your party. Yeah. And C Note's talking about going and Ink. So if you actually feel like joining us, you could either send a DM to myself or to C Note. We've picked out one hotel. We're just slowly working through. We think somebody's talking about golfing, paintball, perhaps. Of course, we're going to do some Clash of Clans. We'll have to do some kind of live and in person versus virtual war, something like that.
Mhm.
We'll make something up at
That
the
would be
time.
fun.
Yeah. So we're hoping you'll fly down, Kat. It's not that far.
It's not that far. We'll see. We'll see how things work.
So that'll be great. We can build that out to solidify those relationships. It's very different talking to someone on the
Mhm.
Discord versus looking them in the eye and shaking their hand. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's been a long time since anybody was able to get together for anything, let alone Clash related. So it's kind of a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
So let's talk about events a little bit. Do you think Clash of Clans itself needs to add any features to enable more events to happen or to encourage various clans to mix together more and socialize? Like, I know, there used to be Global and they got rid of that because it was just too much to manage. But, Clash of Clans has always been a very social game. And without Discord, how do clans get together and socialize? Jen, what do you think?
I would love for that to happen. I particularly enjoy the events much more than I do farming. I'm not sure how they could bring it in, but I think I'd be all about it.
Yeah, I know there's a little bit of talk in the Clash universe today about, I know a very small update just dropped, but there's some rumors going around of a large feature coming out in their next update, which would enable you to challenge someone on your friends list who's not in your clan to do FCs. So,
Oh.
for example,
Yeah.
you're in a clan, and you could send me a challenge because I'm on your friend list, and we could do FCs without having to move clans.
Oh, see, I always had the idea that there was a toggle button where if you could toggle, you could say, yes, I want to be included in it, or no, I don't want to be included in it. And if you're in my clan, I could just kind of click on your name under our clan list and I could FC whatever base you have set forth for me without you having to post it. You don't even have to be on. So that way I don't have to sit there and type FC please, FC please.
Over and
FC
over and
please.
over. Yeah.
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 Yeah, see, I think that would be a really cool idea.
Right.
Because there are sometimes, you're in game and everybody else is sleeping or working or whatever,
Or talking.
and you have an hour or talking on Discord, and you have an hour that you want to maybe practice a certain attack, but nobody's around. So it would be nice to be able to just, pick out somebody in the clan and say, I'm going to hit whatever base you have, like you say, set for FCs at your own convenience.
Yeah,
right?
it could be your home base, or it could be any one of your
Mhm.
whatever, how many bases you want it, choose for me, but that would just be such a cool feature.
What do you think, Fox?
I think that would be so much fun, I think. And then I was you know, it would be neat if we had some way to have, you know, that we could link
Mhm.
the fact that we're running events, you know, like if, you know, there was a way to put like even just like on our clan tab, you know, like we're running events, you know, an event clan, yes, you know, um, or I think you might have touched on this prior to this too, but you know, just being able to link clans to, so
Mhm.
they can talk to each other. If you know, we're all such a big clan family, but you know, thank goodness for Discord because that's how we're all able to connect and talk to each other. But you know, within game,
Mhm.
we're limited at 50 people. You know, and as we said, we have over 1,000 people in this server. You know, it's like I'd like to be able to reach out to them in game too sometimes. You know,
Yeah, because
or even
But
if
they
like
have no
yeah.
possibility to do that, did they? They just think 50 is the kind of the limit, and they haven't allowed any beyond that.
Right.
right, right, and I can understand. You know, so they sunsetted. You know, global because global, but you know, but you know, like it would be neat, like if you're in a friendly war with another clan, that you could chat with that other clan, or
Yeah.
you know, I can see maybe they might not want to go to the stage of like random clans because then you kind of get into that unknown. But if you're purposely warring with another clan, why wouldn't you be able to chat with each other? You know?
Mhm. Or even just like you say, within your own clan family, you can add
Yeah,
friends. Like, say, for example, with Crystal to join, like, we could communicate with them in game instead of just going to Discord all the time. Because I think that's a feature that's sort of missing in game, being able to talk to your friends and in clan families or just in other clans. It takes. I have to go to Discord to do that. So if I could do that in game, I'd probably be spending a lot more time in game rather than playing Discord.
right. And like coordinating, you know, friendly wars has
Hmm.
to happen outside of the game. You can't
Mhm.
coordinate anything.
Exactly.
Which is amazing, right? Because all the pro scene is friendly wars, and yet they don't have a way of coordinating them in the game.
Right. You have to know who you're looking for. Yeah.
Isn't that so interesting?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so interesting. Yeah.
So if you could add one thing to the game, what would it be? Jen?
I would probably just have to go with that FC button. Just let me FC whenever I want, when nobody's around.
How about you, Fox?
Um, I think, you know, that being able to the community features, you know, adding some more community features that, you know, just getting rid of global didn't really solve the socialization problem, you know. As we said, you know, we come together, we come around together to play this game, and then it's like, well, cut off, you know. Um, I don't know how they would solve that, but
How about you, Kat? You have something in mind?
Something that I would like to see in game. I think we mentioned it a few times. There's a few things. I'd really like to see the ability to change your army sort of on the fly, like when you're up in Legends, particularly when you can't hit the next button. That's sort of on my permanent wish list.
I like that one.
Sort of like when you're on builder base,
Yeah.
you have like 30 seconds or whatever it is that you can quickly change some of your troops if you feel you need something different.
oh yeah, yeah,
But
Or even if you
in
had two different armies toggled.
mm-hmm.
One is
Yeah,
air, one
yeah,
is ground. Okay, this base is great for air. Okay, I'm gonna hit it with air, or hit the next. Because sometimes you have,
right,
yeah. Because I used to, when I would farm, I would have two different armies, and I'd hit a base and be like, oh man, that base would have been really nice with the other army, but.
hmm
yeah. I mean, it never fails. Like you've got a particular army, like maybe you've got hybrid cooked, and all of a sudden you hit a ring base, and
Hmm.
you're thinking, oh,
hmm
I should have had this cooked, a different spam type of army cooked for it or whatever, and you're stuck with what you have, and you're struggling to get that 2-star. So
I think Supercell watches what army you have and then gives you a challenging base based
Yeah.
on that.
Right.
they're saying
Yeah.
the fix is in, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
The algorithm is watching you. So just a reminder to the audience, like if you have any questions for our guests, just post them in in the stage chat, and in a few minutes we'll start reading those.
Oh, then can I interject?
You may.
For events that or features they would like in the game, Inc. would like rewind on replays, please.
Yes.
Why make me watch all that way through, miss the thing I'm trying to see, and then have to play it again? So that's
Start
a good
again.
Yes.
Like 100
And-
times in a row.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And Fado would like the ability. Oh, we've talked about this before, Kat. The ability to play as a lower town hall if you've already maxed it out. I
Mhm.
really like this idea because I'm a
Ooh.
little bit end game focused. I have 2
Mhm.
Town Hall 14s now, but I would love to go back and
Mhm.
do Town Hall 10. But I'm not going to farm all the way through to get back up to Town Hall 10. But I would love to be able to just say, Peter
Yeah.
is a Town Hall 10 for this war. I'd love that idea. It'd be really
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, because I do not have Town Hall 10, and I kind of thought a few times about taking my max 9 up to 10, but then I think, well, then I don't have a max 9. And so I've kind
Town
of
Hall
just
9
put
for
that on
life.
hold. It is. Apocalypse Meow.
Yeah.
I love that name. That's great.
Oh, we do have a question from Fado. Do you guys play the new games in the Clash universe?
No, I do not.
How about you, Fox?
I'm in the US, so
That's right. You guys can't play them, can you?
Yeah.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
They-
Although I
That's-
think
that
some of
was
the streamers are playing, but then I guess they they must get special access if they're streamers. So
yeah.
I tried the Clash Quest, the island hopper one.
Mhm.
It's fine. It takes a long time to kind of get your troops up in power and stuff. So
yeah,
it's a little bit of a time waster. Haven't probably looked at it in a couple months now, but it was interesting to begin with.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to Clash Mini. No, what did they
Clash
call
Heroes,
that
I
one?
think it's called.
Heroes. Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
one.
that's the
Now
one
it
I'm
looks
looking.
fun.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the one that's more like the RPG, right? Because they
yeah,
also have Clash Mini did come out, and that one's like a little chessboard.
right. And
It's like a mashup between Clash Royale, because you kind of have your it's not a deck, but you have to like put your troops together that you want to bring to
right.
the session of 3 battles that you go into if you're doing a duel.
Yeah, I have. I haven't played any of the new games. I have Clash Royale that I still play, but I am looking forward to the Clash Heroes one because it just looks, you're exploring this world and doing these various tasks, and it looks like a lot of fun. Although it from what I've read, it looks like they're running into a few issues in launching it. So hopefully they get those ironed out.
Yeah, because that would be like a mashup. Like one of my favorite genres in my console game life is RPGs and
Mm-hmm.
open world, and being able to explore and level up your character that way. So
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Ink is asking a question. What does everyone feel about the previous update, and what would have made it better?
We had Carl on the episode before this one, and he really took a stand that Clash needed to do something big, right? New troop,
Yeah.
maybe a new spell,
Mhm.
something big. And I feel like many. Well, for first, I was surprised we didn't get any sneak peeks. It was just kind of,
Yeah.
here's the reduced rate. The next day the update released. I probably was on the game a half an hour before I realized, oh, wait a minute, I'm not maxed anymore. I have builders that I could be using. What's going on here? So I was not prepared. I was thinking we would do this episode. We would get to talk about an update episode next week, right, Kat? I mean,
Mhm.
that was our thoughts. So I was disappointed there wasn't more hype. It seems like they're distracted by this other thing that's coming.
Yeah, that's the general feedback that I've gotten. Well, and
Mhm.
I think Darian had posted something in one of the Reddit forums about it. Is that they always do an update in December, so they had to do something, but almost all of their resources are focused on this big update that they're working on.
Mm-hmm.
So they gave us a little bit, but they didn't give us
Right.
really what anybody was expecting. So hopefully whatever they're working on is going to be worth the wait and keep everybody playing, because not everybody wants a Town Hall 15 right away. More walls maybe, I don't know.
Right. And why do we need the reduced costs? Like, okay,
Yeah.
what's coming?
Do you think that is though
Are they-
they're worried about right now the competitive scene is all at the top. And so those guys, I'm going to call them kids because they seem like kids to me, decide they're going to move on to the next thing. The new people coming in have a huge barrier to entry, right? So I think they
Right.
had to do that to let people kind of get into the meat and potatoes, because Town Hall 5 is absolutely nothing like Town Hall 14. You know, there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
relationship at all.
Mhm.
So I think that's part of it, that, you know, they just want people in the game and progressing quickly for new players, just to try and
Right.
draw some people in.
Right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's daunting just to look at. You know, you mean I'm level 5 and like I have to get up there? You know?
Mhm. And I mean,
Like I just hit this level. Now there's a new one. Yeah.
exactly. Well, and I mean, you know, with Kent Greenhouse, you know, we have players from level Town Hall 7 all the way up to 14, but you know, some of the people coming in are completely new to the game. They've hit Town Hall 7. They're wanting to learn how to attack, and you know, they must look at, say, for example, Rusty, who's a max 14, and just go, you know, it's taken him how many years to get up there? How will I ever reach that, right?
Right.
So what's the lowest town hall you guys have right now, Fox?
My lowest is a 4.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Well, I have two. I have a 6 that's going on to 7 and another 7. They're both account holders, but the 4, I want to use the 4 to take over one of their slots so I can bring the 7 over to another clan where you can actually do clan games with like a Town Hall 7 versus a 4, you know? So put that one away and then.
How about you, Jen? What's your lowest?
I have a Town Hall 3.
Do you really?
I
Wow.
do. I have a Town Hall 3, a 9, a 10, 11, and a 13.
Can you have a clan castle at Town Hall 3?
No.
I actually I got yelled at because GCBC made me that account, and I used it, and he yelled at me for going and doing a war attack, or don't like doing an attack. He's like, "What did you do? Why'd you go do an attack?" Yeah.
Doing war on a town hall 3 would be very difficult because you don't have a lot of troop space to work with.
Yeah.
Do you remember somebody did that video on an all Town Hall 2 war when they had the clash?
Oh my
Shoot,
gosh.
the builder. Oh, I can't remember the train they use for it, but everything's 50% cost.
Oh,
And so as
yeah.
a Town Hall 2, you can afford to buy a clan castle as Town Hall 2. Yeah, here it is. ODS is saying, yes, you can have a clan castle at Town Hall 3, and during Hammer Jam, thank you, sir, Hammer Jam, you can have a clan castle at Town Hall 2. I think this needs to be one of the events we try to run,
Ooh.
Jen. Everybody
think
can
so.
maximize a Town Hall 2 in a couple of weeks.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Less
I
than
have a Town
that,
Hall
and
3.
then we could do it. You'll be the
Yeah.
big
Call
bully.
it the Terrible
Yeah.
Twos. The Terrible Twos.
The Terrible
be the
Twos. I
event.
love it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to
I
write this
think that
down.
would be a blast to do a
That would be fun.
low town
Yeah.
hall war of some sort.
Yes.
All the town hall 14s who are used to playing with max troops would be
Right.
scrambling. What do you mean I have to lure the CC?
What do you mean I don't have to scroll the troop bar?
That would be pretty much a lot of fun. I think that's a great idea for an event.
Good. I've written it down, Jen. You don't have to remember.
Perfect. Thank you.
Awesome.
Beta would like to know, can you remember a time feeling pressure in a clan war? And if so, can you tell us about it? Anybody?
All the
Yeah,
time.
right. When do I not feel the pressure?
Yeah. You know, not a fact about me, I guess, is that a lot of times I don't do the events because I do get so locked up and I'm like, oh no. And I panic and I misdrop everything. So I have much more fun just like watching. Like, you know, I'm like, I'll do all the setup and everything and then I'll hang out for the war. But
So, does it make you nervous then if people are watching you?
yeah. Yep. I could never do esports. I would be terrible.
So, what are the most people that you've had spectating one of your attacks, Jen?
Oh, I don't even know. I don't think I really ever paid attention, but I know, like, going back to the the other part of the question is like the feeling pressure is when we first did like the arranged wars. with like Queen JJB and BTG when they ran it is when I was involved. And I mean, that was the most pressure I think I had ever felt because we were on Voice and I was still new and learning and listening to all these people talk about attacks. And I've talked about this story plenty of times when I had to do a war attack with SIDS. And I was so fanboying and so nervous that I was like, oh my God, I get to talk to SIDS? Like, and he's going to teach me to do an attack?
I think that I remember it might have been during one of our league wars in KGH. I think you were on Voice with SIDS and I got on Voice with you guys and I was going to do an FC and I accidentally hit attack.
I have done that. I have done that I was with SIDS when we did that. And I was like, we had been practicing just placement of my bowlers. This was back before when we were hitting up and I was hitting my bowlers and I was placing them. And all of a sudden I placed it and I was like, why did a Tesla pop out there? And I went, oh my God, I'm actually attacking this guy right now.
And Sid was always really good about keeping you calm.
He was
and
like,
just,
that's okay. He's like, all right. He's like, you've done it 100 times. Let's just go through it. Oh my, I was so embarrassed. I was like, I don't know how I did that, you know?
Yeah, it's a horrible feeling. I know ODS has another question, I think. Let's see. If you're nervous about doing attacks, does it translate to being nervous when you're doing a podcast?
Even worse.
Yeah. You're more nervous about doing the show, yeah?
Oh yeah, especially not my own show. My own show is different. Like being a guest on a podcast, like I don't want to get too, you don't want to drink too much.
Now, wait a minute, Jen. This is not the first guest spot you've had on a podcast.
Oh no,
right? You've done other ones of these.
Yeah.
Like we're probably the last podcast you've been on.
Probably. Yeah.
I think I've gone through all of you guys now.
So, what makes it nerve-wracking for you? Just
I mean, well, the one big thing, and I mean, it's not I don't get to see you guys on my podcast. I am able to see my other hosts. So a lot of times, if somebody has a question, we just raise our hands or, and there's other verbal cues that you get from each other when you actually can see somebody.
That's true.
When we had to actually do our first podcast on stage, I was super quiet because it was hard for me to interject. I didn't want to step on anybody while they were talking. Because usually I'm like, I'm the first one. I'm like, I got something to say, and I'm raising my hand, and everyone can see me, so they kind of will give me that little cue to come in.
How about you, Fox?
When I first start, I'm nervous, but then once we get going and it's like, oh, these are my friends, we're chatting, and it is just like sitting around, we called it, the cozy fireside podcast because it's like we are just sitting around and chatting and catching up, and it's fun. For gaming, for me, I'm actually very competitive, so it's kind of a funny like antithesis, you know what I mean? Like I'm very competitive, but I get very stressed out when I'm people are watching me and I'm like, but I have to do well. I have to I have to do this. So it's it's fun.
Yeah.
Do you get nervous, Kat?
I get very nervous in all things. Whether it's a podcast or a war attack, I put a lot of pressure on myself and many people have told me to relax. ODS is always telling me to breathe, relax. I just like, okay, a deep breath. But then, once,
once you're
you
started,
guys,
no one can tell.
Yeah, because I start enjoying myself and I relax. And, ODS wants to know, is the pressure similar or different to how you felt taking tests in school?
For me, it's different.
Yeah.
I felt like I could study to the test, and I was competing against myself when I take a test versus having other people watch me compete against someone else. I don't know if that makes sense, but
right. I don't have spectators while I take a test.
All those 40 guys sitting behind you in the exam line are watching you. You just don't know. Okay.
Right.
I used to do a lot of cramming before tests, though. Like I would stay up late every night before a test, and I still remember one night, like I waited to the last minute and I made like flashcards before I went to sleep. This was in college,
Oh, wow.
like waiting to the last minute. Yeah. And then I slept, but I remember waking up going, did I just dream about all the flashcards that I made last night? And then I walked into this test and we had to write an essay. And I was like, I've got this, And I blew through
that's
it.
awesome.
Yeah. I was like, well, I didn't really sleep, but okay.
That's funny. I think I'm more nervous after the fact. I'm trying to think back to school, but I would always walk out in the hallway after, and the guy would go, "Oh, did you get this question? I thought the answer was this," and I'm thinking, "I didn't pick that. What the heck are you talking about?" Now,
That
I
was
didn't
on
do
my desk.
terribly. Yeah, I didn't do terribly well in school. I didn't do terribly badly. I got through, but I feel the same way I think about war attacks. That in the moment, I'm focused on what's happening. It's the
Mhm.
let's say it goes wrong and I one star, that's when I feel bad. That's when I get nervous. Like, what is the reaction going to be? And
Yeah.
I guess that's why Red Thorn's so good. Everyone's kind of supportive no matter what happens. To my face, anyway. I don't know what they say behind my back.
It's a good thing they're supportive because just recently, just before
Yeah.
CCWL, I had a war where I one starred twice. They were high percentage one stars, but still,
Yeah.
and then you just feel just like you've sort of like not just let yourself down, but you've let everybody in your clan down for doing that. But everybody just, like you say, they're very supportive, and still the pressure is there. And
It's good. That's why we're playing this game. It's kind of that release of the
Mhm.
competitive thing. Can't go out and beat up people in the grocery store, so we get to beat them up on the
Yeah.
Clash of Clans battlefield.
exactly. We have one more question from ODS. What is your favorite troop after witches?
After
Nothing air. I'm terrible at that.
What about the new dragon troop? Super troop.
I love the graphics on it. That is just
Mhm.
awesome. It reminds me of oh shoot, I can't think of it now, but it's like Smog when he was swooping in
Mhm.
and on fire. That was I really like the graphics.
How about you, Jen? What's your favorite troop?
I like the healer.
It's a very good pick.
Not that I don't have like a tattoo of her or anything.
No one would guess that it's your favorite.
I forget that I have it. She's behind my ear under my hair. And I
Oh.
honestly don't wear my hair up a lot. And when I do, people are like, oh my gosh, you have Tinkerbell behind your ear. And I'm like, that is
No.
not Tinkerbell.
That's hilarious.
They're like, who is she? And I'm like, she's from a game called Clash of Clans. And they're like, oh yeah, never heard of it. Never mind.
How about you, Kat? What's your favorite these days?
Let's see. I have to say it's that new Dragon Super Troop. I've just been playing with it a little bit today, but it seems very strong, and like you say, I love the graphics on it.
I'm gonna collect some hate and I'm gonna say the Dragon Rider. It's been really,
Yeah.
really good to me ever since it dropped. So that's my favorite right now. Although I would encourage a buff to Hogs at Town Hall 14. I wouldn't say no.
Yeah, I mean, I know they gave us that other level, but I'd really love to go back to doing more ground attacks with hybrid. And
There's a couple guys that make it work in Red Thorn right now, but it seems, it's a mixture still.
yeah, you have to be really good at it, and I'm not that good at it. So right now I'm doing my different dragon attacks and enjoying that. What's your go-to attack right now, Fox? If you're in war?
Well, this week I was in war with basically all my low level accounts.
Oh,
So-
right.
Barch
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, actually, I ended up going back to the go wipe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Believe it or
Yeah.
not. Yeah. With some backside
Yeah,
hogs. And
that's
some
a very
of them.
strong
Yeah.
attack
Nice.
at Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, huh. So that was actually fun. So Pekka was I was like, I actually don't hate this troop right now. Yeah.
Stronger than I remember.
Yeah, exactly. But I think, the lower accounts help. But it was actually a lot of fun playing on all those this week.
How about you, Jen?
Hogs for days, all
Oh,
day long. That's all I play. I didn't even know there are any other troops.
we have a question. Do you need to be a little OCD to play Clash?
I am the opposite of OCD, so I don't think so.
I think for myself, I know I'm better now. I think when I first started playing, it was a complete obsession. No, I just OCD on Discord. That's it. Peter, how about you?
I'm definitely a completist, so I want all my walls done before I press the town hall button to go up. So yeah,
Yeah.
I think I might have that. I can see where he's coming from. Yes, I
Mhm.
think so. Definitely.
Well, looks like that's the end of our questions. So I'm going to just say thank you very much to our guests for joining us tonight. Do you guys have any shout outs? Miss P?
To you guys, definitely thank you for inviting
Oh,
me on for this show. I've enjoyed your guys' podcast since the beginning. I love all the Clash podcasts. And of course to Fox for everything that she does. She has always been my Clash mom, and I I when you guys got to that question about the hardest thing to do in Clash, I was like, I hope she doesn't mention me. I hope she doesn't mention me.
Oh God, never, never,
Yeah, I'm
never.
always like, Mom.
You're amazing.
I mean, of course, to everyone who came out to listen to us live, and
Mhm.
to Good Cup, Bad Cup, and Ink.
Wonderful. Fox, how about you? Got any shout outs?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you to you guys for having me on and having a good time doing it. So thank you for inviting me. I think my main shout out is going to be to Bobby D, who
Oh, yeah.
has yet again made us another awesome holiday server banner and animated
That's
icon
fantastic.
for our Discord. Yeah, he messaged me and he's like, "Hey, I've got a holiday surprise for you."
Yeah, I think he's outdone himself on that one. That's amazing.
Yeah, they look great. So actually, he has an Instagram now. It's Bobby.Donald. So if you want to see some more of his work, he's done
Awesome.
some pretty cool stuff. So if anyone wants to take a look
Cool.
at that.
Peter, how about you?
I would like to shout out Fado and Magnus. They both had some crazy stuff happen in real life, and I know Clash is their, distraction for fun, so shout those guys out. And GCBC, he was back in, I don't remember what clan he played in now, but he was playing a little bit of SCWL. I know he's going to have to go back on break. He's got some real
Mhm.
life stuff going on, but it was great to see him back in Clash of Clans.
Awesome.
And thank you, girls, for coming on. It was great talking with you.
Thank you.
And I'm going to shout out our guests. Thank you very much for coming on. It's much appreciated and a pleasure having you here. And if anybody wants to participate in any CFF events, how would they go about it?
Oh, anyone who wants to join in our events, just come to our server. Anybody who's on the server can do any of our events that we have there. It's discord.gg/clashfiles.
Thanks to our audience and everybody for listening. If you're looking for a great group of clans in either Clash of Clans or Clash Royale or any of the other many Supercell games that are appearing, just visit the Clash Files Discord to apply. And as always, please send us your comments, ideas, and questions to us on Twitter at KGH Podcast or join the Clash Files Discord at discord.gg/clashfiles.
At the start of the